Assalamualaikum, I'm Fatin Nur Husnina. Let's start with objective of our study. So, our group has decided to investigate about the eating behaviour among IIUM students. We want to study about this topic because we want to identify the factors and barriers that influence the students from eating healthy foods. In our opinion, it is significant to study about this topic because we believe that eating habit plays a very important role in determining someone's health status. In fact, nutrition issues in Malaysia are never be outdated since year 2000. According to Health Minister, obesity and overweight of adult Malaysians reveal the prevalence has just passed 50%, which 18.3% of them have diabetes and 38.1% have high blood pressure. Furthermore, it is found that 95% of adults did not consume adequate intakes of healthy food such as vegetables and fruits. Therefore, these cases make this topic relevant for us to investigate.
My name is Nurul Fatia binti Syafi'i. I am number matric 2014722 and I'm going to continue this presentation by explaining to you about our data collection. For the data collection, we release a Google form to be answered by the students and collect the data. Okay, next, I'm going to explain to you about the sampling method. Our sampling method is stratified sampling method. After we have received our respondents, we divide them into groups which is their genders, male and female. After that, we will sort out 25 members from each group and take them as a sample. Okay, why we choose this sampling method? It is because it will provide better coverage for us as we can easily control both male and females to represent the whole population. For example, we want to reduce the risk of choosing all males to represent the population because it will change the result and may lead to a biased project. And it is the same. We want to avoid choosing all females in our project. As a summary, our population is all IIUM students and our sample is 50 sample consists of 25 female and 25 male of IIUM students.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iqbal Muhammad Hassan, matric number 1821540. In this video, I will talk about the variables in our data collection. Here are the variables and types of variables. So in this project, we have 13 variables, 4 quantitative and 9 qualitative variables. So types of variables is gender. Gender is qualitative. Next is kuliah. Kuliah is qualitative. Next is amount of money received every month is qualitative. Latest CGPA is qualitative. Amount spent by a month is qualitative. Weight goals is quantitative. Current weight is quantitative. Current height is quantitative. Body mass index is quantitative. How many meals are taken per day is qualitative. Which health eating habit always practiced is qualitative. Do you consume health food daily is qualitative. What's the barrier of eating a health diet is qualitative.
Next, we use two sample t-test independent variable to know is there any difference between the average current weight for those who consume and do not consume healthy meals. We found that there is no difference between the average current weight for those who consume and do not consume healthy meals. This result found by using the 6 step of hypothesis test. For the first step, we state the H null and the alternate. For the H null, we state that there is a difference between the average current rate for those who consume healthy meals and for those who do not consume healthy meals. And for the alternate, we state that there is no difference between the average current rate for those who consume and do not consume healthy meals. For the second step, we use the significance level of 0.05, and step 3, we compute the test statistic and got negative 1.525 and positive 1.525. So, we reject the H null if our critical value is greater than the value. For the step 4, we compute our critical value and we got 2.011. For the next step, we reject H null because the critical value falls under the test statistic, which is 2.011. The last step, we interpret that we reject H null so that we can prove that there is no difference between the average current rate for those who consume and do not consume healthy meals.
Next is the result of hypothesis test. For step 1, the mean of students' goal weights equal to 57 kg. The mean of students' goal weight is different from 57 kg. Step 2, level of confidence is equal to 0.05. Step 3, when we compute the test statistics, we got minus 0.623. And step 4, the critical value is 2.009. Step 5, we do not reject the null hypothesis because the Z value is between the critical value. Step 6, we accept the null hypothesis, which means that the mean of students' weight goal is equal to 57 kg.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hanan Faliha binti Faris Sufyan and I'm going to present about the goodness of fit test. The goodness of fit test is used to know the personal barrier from eating a healthy diet among students based on their gender. The barrier is healthy food is too expensive, food preferences, lack of knowledge about healthy eating, state of mind, and others. Based on the sample choices, we want to know if the 5 personal barriers of eating a healthy diet were equally chosen. Step 1. Hypothesis. H null is there is no difference in the proportion of samples' personal barrier from eating a healthy diet, while H alternate is there is a difference in the proportion of a sample's personal barrier from eating a healthy diet. Next, we measure our variables by labeling them. For example, male is 1 and female is 2, as you can see from the table in the slide. Next, step 2 is the level of significance. We select 0.05 as our level of significance. Next, step 3, the test statistic is determined from sample information. It is to determine whether to reject H null. The test statistic is derived by SPSS software, as you can see from the slide. Next is step 4, calculating the critical value. Based on the chi-square table with the 0.05 as the level of significance, the rejection region is 11.070. Step 5 is decision making on to reject H null or not to reject H null. H null is not rejected. And lastly, step 6, interpretation. Therefore, H null is not rejected. In conclusion, there is no difference in the proportion of a sample's personal barrier from eating a healthy diet. By the way, the phi is used to measure effect size. The phi value in this test is 0.357, which is a medium effect, as you can see from the slide.
Next, we want to investigate the difference in the mean of body mass index among 5 categories of samples who take different times of meals per day. The category is the people who take 1 time meal per day, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. So, to conduct this test hypothesis, we decided to use an ANOVA test. Why we used to Why we choose to do this test is because we want to investigate for 3 or more samples. To run this test hypothesis, we need to do 6 steps. The first step is that we need to make the hypothesis first. The null hypothesis is that the mean of category 1 is equal to the mean of category 2 and category 3, category 4 and category 5. Next, our alternate hypothesis is that the mean of body mass index are not all equal. Next, the second step is that we need to decide what is our significance level. Our significance level is 0.1. Number 3, the third step is that we will use the test statistic that follow the F distribution. The fourth step is that we need to calculate our degree of freedom. Our degree of freedom in the numerator is 4, found by k minus 1. Our k is 5, so 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Next, the degree of freedom in denominator, n minus k. Our n is 50 minus 5 is 45. And then we decide the value, and we will reject the hash null if the computed value of f is exceed 3.83. Next, the fifth step is that we find the grand mean, the SS total, SST, and SSE. And then we conduct the ANOVA table, as you can see from the slide, and get the F value of 0.10772. The value is smaller than our critical value, so we can decide that the last step, we can decide that the mean of body mass index from students who are taking different times of meals every day are all equal, because our F value is outside the rejected region.
Next, conclusions. There are some suggestions that the IIUM authorities and societies need to reconsider in order to encourage healthy eating in IIUM students. The first one is IIUM authorities need to provide more fruit stalls than vending machines that contain unhealthy snacks and carbonated drinks such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi around the campus area to encourage eating more fruits among IIUM students. Next, second suggestion is societies like Harmony should hold a fasting campaign on Monday or Thursday, monthly or weekly. This action will bring awareness among IIUM students to take care of their physical health by fasting, which is a good and encouraged practice in Islam. In conclusion, we hope that IIUM students will continue striving for their success in academic performance while taking care of their physical health by having a healthy diet. They should understand the cause and effect of an imbalanced diet because it would legitimately damage their body and academic performances.